I thought it would be fun to take you through writing my Substacks. So I write a Substack and it is called Second, Take Your Second. And it's a newsletter for moms by a mom. And I launched it, I think, February. I originally launched it and I think I was doing Beehive as my platform. And then I was like, I want a more customized website. So I did a Squarespace and was doing Flowdesk. But then it was just like a lot. Writing the email, sending out the email, and then also publishing, copying it over to Squarespace blog. There was like too much barrier for me and time that I wanted to invest in it, because I do just write it for myself and also for just like moms. Like, there's no money value to it for me, is what I'm trying to get at. I literally just write it because I think when I originally launched Second, I just wanted a place to feel like I could be transparent with my thoughts of motherhood and kind of just like what you don't typically hear about motherhood, unfiltered thoughts, still trying to keep positivity, things like that. I have my aligners in for my retainer, so excuse the lisp. So I have now switched over to Substack, and this is now my second post on Substack ever, but not my second post overall for Second. I thought it'd be fun to just do a behind the scenes of like having a Substack and writing and what it looks like. Today's post is about, or what I'm working on. I'm not going to post it today because it takes me usually, like my last one took me about a week to write, just because I only work on it during nap times or whenever I have time. Once I start it, I try to work on it like every day after to keep like the flow going. And this also helps me make sure I process all this stuff, and sometimes there's more to it in just like a day that I write. So anyways, today is ticking time bomb of my ovaries. Let's dive in. I have my notepad. So this is where I'll kind of like jot as I chat with you guys of like the talking points and how I just want this to like flow. Okay, aligners are out because I couldn't anymore. Okay, so let's start with just like, I like to spitball like my raw thoughts of the ticking time bomb of my ovaries. I'll pick the topic usually, and then I have my things that I want to yap about. But I do like to start like with an intro of like why. So my last Substack was 12 lessons of motherhood, and that was because I was turning 1, so it was a whole year, 12 months in a year, whole 12 lessons. This one is about because I am 32 years old, and I feel like just like with society, it's there's like this pressure to have your babies as early as possible, because once you hit, what is it, like 36 or something? I don't know. It's a geriatric pregnancy and like all these things. And it's kind of hard to think like, oh, I'm already 32. I have PCOS. All these things are working against me essentially. And I think I wouldn't have this initial thought process if we had a smooth pregnancy to begin with, which we didn't. I think it's also just like unpacking that in this, kind of just taking you through the story, the background of it all. And then, so I will go through why I feel this pressure, the story of how we got to Ellie, so ectopic pregnancy, and then on and off trying, and then having to not be able to have it fully naturally and going on letrozole, and also just like this underlying feeling, I guess this underlying gut feeling I have with myself. I don't know if it's like, and this is a hard thing too, I don't know if it's a gut feeling or if it's just like my thought process because of what I've gone through of feeling like I can't like try it naturally. It won't happen naturally for me. Like I would have to go like through another round of letrozole, or let's say the letrozole doesn't work this time. Like what are the next steps? Things like that. Like it's not like, oh, let's just like bless and release it and see what happens. It's more planned and like trying to figure out like tracking the ovulation, seeing what my PCOS is up to this go around. I think that's another thing too. Okay, hold on. I didn't even write down this bullet point. So, and now I forgot what I was going to say. Lost my thought process. So essentially taking you through the background, and then I guess I am also trying to just like brain dump the pros and cons of having another and the pros and cons of only child versus providing a sibling, and like that pressure of like making sure that my daughter doesn't feel lonely in the world. And there's just so many heavy things to unpack. So this one's a bit heavier, but I think it's good. It's like, it's a way for me to also like journal, but obviously a more like filtered, not filtered, but like more refined journaling, since I do want to take you through like the story of it all. But that's sort of how I start these, and that's how I share my honest thoughts. So in hopes that it'll resonate with other moms or moms to be, and maybe people with PCOS. Oh, here's the thing. When I kept hearing this, like, oh, after you have a kid, after your pregnancy, some people, or a lot of people, their PCOS just like goes away or like fixes itself. So I was kind of like hopeful like that would happen, and it didn't. My PCOS seems to be the same. My cycles are still long. My cramps are insane. Like, it's just, so I think I've also been like grasping with like the disappointment of that and it not being the case for me. All right, so here's my setup. This is a great segue. I have my laptop, I have my monitor. Ellie Bean is sleeping. I'm gonna cover this so you don't see her for a second. And I'm just gonna play some music. I think this is great. It's very gloomy today. And I think Hozier Radio is what the doctor called for. And I have my Substack. It does a draft for you and it auto saves, which I think is great. I just do it directly here. And let me show you what outside looks like so you can see the mood. Very, very gloomy. We actually might open this all the way. Ooh. Very gloomy day. So it feels perfect for writing. Let's dive in. So I have my first little intro, and similar to content creation, whatever, you want to hook them, right? So this is what we learned all through school. So I have 32 years old, PCOS, ectopic pregnancy, letrozole to help in my last pregnancy. It often feels like these things stack up against me, and thinking of having another baby is more daunting than exciting. So it's letting you know the overall feel, the vibes for the whole thing. And I'll just keep going from there and kind of just yapping about. Okay, I have written, let's see, I think this has the stats. 380 words so far. Much like the intro essentially, but I think sometimes whenever I am writing this, I catch myself like going on my phone and scrolling, because sometimes, especially with like a heavy topic like this, it's like feelings I don't necessarily want to talk about, or I guess like dive deeper into. So it's like, okay, let me take a break and then come back and see like, what do I want to share? It's also easy, since it's like journal, to just like ramble, and I try not to ramble too much. Sometimes it's hard to write these, especially if I don't have, like with this one, I don't have like a clear ending, which I think I need to come up with, because I don't have a decision for this yet. I'm literally just trying to write it out. Ellie Beans is stirring. I think she's waking up. It's almost time. Her nap time ends at 10:30 and it's 10:20. It's a good start. I also sometimes, when I'm writing my Substack, I have them drafts. I'll like start a topic thinking that like, oh, this is what I want to talk about. And then I end up like not, I'm like, I need to pin this for later. Like, I'm not ready to just dive deeper into it. Or it's like, as I'm writing, it doesn't really resonate. And I think with the second, I want to make sure it resonates with me to ensure that it actually like resonates with other moms. And I feel like if it doesn't resonate with me in the moment and I try to just like force write it, it reads through, if that makes sense. A lot of second is backed by authenticity, honesty, and just like raw emotion type of thing. And that's, yeah, I don't know where I'm getting at. Also, some days I'm just like I feel like I'm not a good writer. With second, it was also like a big challenge for me because I had so many thoughts when I initially started the second. I had so many thoughts and things I wanted to get down on paper, but I'm not a natural writer. I'm an artist in other ways. I paint, I sew, I quilt. That's my art form. Writing has never been my art form. I've always appreciated writing and love reading. So doing this has also been like a creative challenge for me, which I also enjoy. It pushes me to be a better writer and organize my thoughts better. Like it's good. It's also helps me with like my storytelling, and I think that's also why I like video editing, because it's like a test to storytelling, because I can try to tell a story with like painting and things like that. Like that comes natural for me, but in video and in writing, it's not as natural. So it's good practice, and it's good to expand my creativity in that way, because then I think it helps just like overall creativity. It's not like, oh, I'm only creative in painting, I'm only creative in drawing. Like, no, you can be creative in so many aspects of your life. So doing this just like expands my creativity, I guess. Okay, that was a random side tangent. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna see if I have more in me right now. I think I might just like type and then organize, because right now I feel a bit, I don't know. We'll see. This weather's really getting to me. We haven't seen the sun in a couple days. And I hate Charlotte winters, but I know it could be worse. Okay, the nugget is starting to wake up, so I'm going to get her snack ready and also have some breakfast. But I'm ending with 700 words, which I am happy about, and I don't have like an overall goal for like how many words I write or anything like that. I want to make sure it like flows well and is hardy enough for an email, because I'm taking up space in your inbox and that's a sacred space. So I also kind of wrote my outro for it, which gives me like a good, I like having the intro and the outro, because then it gives me something to like work towards and like get to a point. And I feel good with like where I'm at, and that way I can like either revisit it later during Ellie's next nap time or maybe tomorrow morning. I usually write in the morning, and that's when like the things flow. So yeah, good stopping point. Okay, I will either see you later or tomorrow. Good morning. It is the next day, and it is another gloomy morning. It's just like foggy, misty, and cold outside. This weather, I need the sun. I think the sun is coming out tomorrow. Fingers crossed. But I am back at writing my Substack, and I'm going to hop back on. So yesterday we left it at around 700 words, and I finished the endings. I kind of have a map to go back to, because I did feel like this is such a heavy article for me to be writing, and there's just like a lot of thoughts swirling around, and it's hard to get them all organized and down on digital paper. I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, maybe I should write some, but I didn't. I'm working on a Christmas quilt as well, so sometimes I just need to do things with my hands to get the thoughts moving. So let's see. I usually don't reread the whole thing until the very end, and then I'll start to kind of like organize it all. Pretty much the last paragraph, not like the outro, but like where I left off yesterday was moving past the pregnancy journey and entering the postpartum journey is another, and entering the postpartum journey. I don't know what I was saying. As another human is, and entering the postpartum journey as another human is welcome to the world. I now have to divide my time. Spending less time with my daughter absolutely shatters me. I absolutely love that I'm able to devote so much time and energy into her while still being able to have my own time and hobbies. Adding to our family would mean sleepless nights again, dividing and conquering, less time for us as a couple and as individuals. All temporary sacrifices for hopefully a lifetime relationship for our kids. How does one choose to add to their family, and how do you know? So I kind of moved past like the pregnancy journey, moving into like what the postpartum journey would look like. And I guess like it's like as selfish as it sounds, am I willing to, I can't speak for my husband, so I'm just talking about myself. Am I willing to make that sacrifice of time, energy, and another toll on my body, essentially? It's a toll on your body to carry another human and then to also care for it afterwards, especially since I do plan on breastfeeding again. It's a lot. It's a lot on a woman's body. Fast this morning. I think it's because I don't have music on and I'm like not going to touch my phone at all. But we're moving into like more of like as the kids grow up. I'm essentially thinking through the whole entire process because obviously having a kid is a lifelong commitment. Like it's not just like, oh yes, I want another baby. It's beautiful to think about having another baby because you get the newborn snuggles, you get just like all of that newborn bliss, and they're so cute as babies. As they grow up, they're still cute, but they have different needs and wants. It's not just of, do I want a baby? It's, do I want to nurture and care for another human for the rest of my life? Like it's a lifelong commitment. I think it's important to think through the whole process. I very much am not usually that type of person. I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just see what happens for most life things. But I think this is the one thing in life that I do think very heavily on because I want to make sure that I'm creating such a beautiful life for these humans. And the world is so chaotic and messy and just like everything. And I want to be able to be that safe haven. So I just want to make sure that I'm able to be that and do that for them. Okay, I'm going to keep on writing and I'll catch you at the end, I think. I got it to a really good spot, and when I get it to that spot, I do bring it into AI, but I don't use ChatGPT because ChatGPT really just like tweaks writing overall, and I don't like that. I use Claude, and whenever I put it in, what I'm asking for is just grammatical corrections. I request it to keep my same voice and tone. I also ask it for any suggestions to help it flow better. So it's not actually like really editing my writing itself. It's just giving me more ideas and more things to think about, which I really appreciate. I do use AI. I think it's great to help on a day-to-day basis, but for writing specifically and my Substack, I don't like it to write for me, which is why I'm asking it like further questions. So essentially it's like my editor, because I can't afford an editor. I would love to afford an editor. This is where I am at right now, and this is my suggestion for you if you are interested in writing a Substack or anything like that, and you want to just like get the grammatical corrections in, to just say like, I literally say, can you help with it grammatically, make it flow, but keep the voice and tone. And then I said, also give me some tips on to add it to it for better storytelling. Tips for better storytelling. It says, add a hook at the beginning. Consider opening with a specific moment or scene that captures the tension you're feeling. So it's not writing this for me. It's just it's making me think more, which I really appreciate. Another one said, include more sensory details. When you mention Ellie, give us a glimpse. What does she make that makes your heart full? What specific moment made you think maybe we should try again? Number 3, flesh out the ask at the end. Right now it ends abruptly, which I recognized before. I just wasn't sure how to kind of wrap it all up. And other suggestions: consider adding a specific anecdote. The section breaks help, but consider subsections. And then end with vulnerability, not just information. And then it kind of dives into each one. Again, not writing it for me. It's just giving me more things to think about, and essentially just like writing little notes on your paper. I like it. I like doing it this way and using Claude, because I've just noticed like ChatGPT kind of just like takes over and like writes for me, and I don't like that at all. I'm going to put in those grammatical corrections that it gave me, read over, and then see what else I can add in and go from there. I have officially finished, and I actually think it's crazy that I finished this one within 2 days. Whenever I told you at the beginning of this video, usually it takes me about a week. My last one took me about a week, but maybe it was because I hadn't written second in quite a while because I took a break and just getting back into writing. But this one only took 2 days, so I feel like that's like an accomplishment. 2 mornings to be exact. I'm very happy with it. I still don't have an answer to my question of one and done, or adding another. I think I was able to write down a lot of my thoughts and feelings about it, and hopefully resonate with some of you if you are a mother thinking about having another, or have PCOS, or just have had traumatic experiences with pregnancy, and like just like all these things. There's so much to this, and I am curious to see if anyone responds or resonates or has any thoughts, any words of advice, or any other questions I could essentially ask myself. I'm not so much looking for an answer, obviously, because only I can answer this. I am looking for just like more questions, I think, of like what I can ask myself if I do want to embark on this journey again. And I think one thing I didn't write about in here, I like touched on it, but I didn't really dive deeper into it, was that the journey isn't just like, oh, just bless and release and see what happens. I would probably have to do another dose of letrozole, so it would be like purposefully trying. And I feel like that feels bigger. That feels like, oh, like we know it's probably going to happen. Like it's a pretty high likelihood. If I didn't have to go towards like medication, it would be, I think in my mind, it would be like, oh, whatever the universe is offering me. Although I know even going a medication route, it is like the universe still has to play a huge part. Oh, there's so much. And I think it's okay. I don't have the answer right now. I think that's normal. Ellie is only 1 year old, but I think it's hard whenever I do feel like my ovaries are like a ticking time bomb type of thing. But I also recognize that there could be more health conditions. It could be, there's other journeys that are harder than mine, right? But for me, this is my hard. So I left it off. I will link the Substack so you could read the full thing. I'm not going to read it to you, but this is where I left it off of like, here's where I need you. So I'm also going to leave it off for this video of here's where I need you. My questions are, let's get close and personal while I read this. Okay, my questions are, have you been here? How did you decide? Did you feel ready, or did you just jump and trust? I need to hear from the moms who chose one and done and don't regret it. And for the moms who were terrified to try again, but did it anyways. And I just need to know I'm not alone in this impossible decision, because right now it does feel a little isolating, and that I'm on this like lonely island when I know that's not the case. Here's my call for help, I guess. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes of writing a Substack, writing second. If you'd like to see more, let me know. It was fun to chat, and I feel like I chatted a bit more about things and dove a little deeper than what I actually write sometimes. That was fun. It was a bit vulnerable, but thank you so much for listening, and I hope you like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and look forward to chatting again. Bye!